I've just finished my first house on Monday. It's Monday now. I've just finished my first house cleaning with the new Shark vacuum, and I have to say I am really impressed. I've been doing this work now for 2.5 years, and in that period of time I've used 2 Hoovers, a Dyson, a Vax and a Bissell, and only the Bissell has come close to what I'm going to show you. I bought the Shark nv601uk, and it's the cheapest of the Shark upright range, but I didn't pick it because it was the cheapest. Don't get me wrong, that was an advantage. I picked it because it had the biggest dust canister, the biggest one of these. The reason I am so impressed with this is I have done one house. Now with my previous vacuums, and granted they had a 2-litre canister, the Shark, only has a 1.65. That was about the biggest I could find. It was the closest to 2-litre I could get. Generally with a 2-litre canister, I could clean 4 or 5 houses a day. Anywhere between 3 and 5. 5 on my busier days, 3 on a general day. It doesn't totally fill up. And I'm no slouch with a vacuum. You can tell by my reviews, which I think I might be able to get to show up there. I'm the highest rated on Yell in this area and the most reviewed. So I'm no slouch. You know what people are like on the internet? They'd tell you. This is why I am so impressed. I'm hoping you can catch this. That canister is absolutely chock-a-block full. There you go. Look at that. Absolutely chock-a-block full. One house. The house that I've just come from is generally pretty clean. It's a good house, and yet the Shark has pulled all of this, filled this thing to the hilt on one go. Glad I've got some bin liners with me. On to the next house.
Hi, it's the end of my first week using the Shark nv601 vacuum. I thought it would be a good opportunity to look at exactly what I've done over this week and how that relates to what you would do in general use. So I've cleaned the equivalent of 16 2-bedroom houses, or 12 to 16 2 to 3-bedroom houses. But we're just going to look at it as 12 because 12 houses, if a house is done once a week thoroughly, then it means that it's 12 full weeks of vacuuming, which equals 3 months. That's 3 months of vacuuming. So the vacuum's had very intense use during this week. It's had 3 months, the equivalent of 3 months of use in 1 week. And it gives you, as a consumer, the opportunity to have a look and see what that's like. And it gives me the opportunity to let you know what it's like. Here we have the Shark after, as I say, the equivalent of 3 months use. And as you can see, the dust tank is dusty still. I have had to empty that a lot this week. One feature I particularly like is the easy access to the roller brush. It makes it so much easier for clearing hair and debris from the bristles, and also for you to check on the status of them to make sure that they're still in good condition. Moving on, we have the cord hooks, which, as I told you when I first unboxed this, I wouldn't be using, and that I would be wrapping the cord, slinging it round the neck of the vacuum, which I have duly done. There's the RCD, which I said I would be using too for safety's sake. I did find that little hose restrainer useful for keeping the RCD slung over, but I kept it like that, swinging loose when I was using the vacuum in practice. You'll see that in the videos that are coming up. Let's just take the tank off and have a look at the filters. As you can see, that is pretty dusty in there, and I have had to tap that out 2 or 3 times this week. The Shark manual says you need to take it out and wash it every 3 months, and I think it would probably need more than that. However, the most wonderful thing about this vacuum is you can see how clogged up that filter is. There was no loss of suction on the vacuum at that stage. I thought that was fantastic. It was just really good, really good. The suction was superb. One of the clips that you'll see is actually from that period. Here we have the felt filter, and as you can see, that's filthy too. So I've taken them out. I'm going to give them a good wash. I've also bought some more to replace them. Now, moving on to the brush. I knew this brush was going to be problematic. Very much a pros and cons situation. It's a bit of a Marmite brush. As you can see, the bristles are starting to splay, a bit like a toothbrush, a well-used toothbrush already. I can't see this lasting 5 years, or in my case, roughly 20 months. I can't see this being good for 5 years at all. However, it was a useful little tool, and it's nice and narrow, and it gets into nice little cracks and crevices that the other brush that I used to use didn't. So it was useful for that, but it's just not robust, and I do like a more robust brush. In a second, I'm going to show you the Dyson brush that I was using on my previous vacuum. I used to mould it onto the pipework of other vacuums, the Dyson brush, because I just found it so good. It was so robust, whereas this one, great for fine dusting. Here's the Dyson brush. As you can see, now that I've used that for 2 years, so that's had the equivalent of like 6 years worth of use in the 2 years that I've used it, based on the figures that I did earlier. And it's still in very good condition. Yes, it's recently been washed out, but the bristles are fine. And Shark, you're missing a trick here. Producing poor quality tools for a premium machine isn't good. Right, the upholstery tool. I use that a lot for vacuuming stairs. Found it was brilliant. Pulled out cat hairs and anything that was trapped in dirt and debris on the stairs. You'll see that in use. Brilliant. Really liked that. I fully anticipated the red velvet to come off, but it seems quite sturdy. You can actually rotate the head so that, which I'm going to do now with my thumb, you can rotate the head to give you a different angle of cleaning, so you can have it from a more upright position. So yeah, very useful little tool that, and it does slot onto the vacuum just in one position.